us today. I'm here with Emre Ozgur, the founder of Safe Sweat, a 25-year industry veteran, held high-level executive positions, just helping the industry, the fitness industry, move forward. And it's just a pleasure and honor just watching his success with his new brand and his new concept. And I'm just pumped. Emre, thanks for jumping on the podcast, my man.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah. First of all, how are things going? How's opening, launching something new? How's that been for you in the past couple of weeks, couple of months?
Excellent. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say we didn't have our ups and downs like any new business, new entrepreneur. However, my business partner, Andrea Klogman, and we worked on this for 2 years. So we didn't just decide on something, a new concept, and say, hey, we're going to revolutionize the fitness industry. Here you go. We have 50 years combined in this industry experience, and we worked on this specific concept for 2 years before we launched it. So it's going exactly the way we said it was going to go. So we're pretty excited about
That's
that.
amazing. Now, beyond having the same barber and the same stylist, you and I have been similarly in the industry for as long as we have, about 25 years. I'm wondering, if you don't mind, how'd you get in the industry? What were some of the key events that led you to where you're at today, starting a new brand and branching out on your own with people you trust? What's your origin story?
Yeah. So I think it starts back when I was a kid in Southern California. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and I was a big time Lakers fan. I played basketball probably 2-3 hours a day and dreamed of playing for the Lakers one day. And I played till I was in 10th grade, and coaches said, hey, you're pretty good, but you'd be better at football. So went on to play football and dreamed about playing for the 49ers, played college football. And then after college realized, okay, that was as far as I could take it. And then I'm like, okay, next is bodybuilding. Became a national level competitor for a few years, and loved that for the fitness aspect of it. Didn't love it for, I think, the physical and mental health aspects of it. So then I turned that into a professional mixed martial arts career where I became a fighter in the cage. And that was going great until I think I had to make a decision. What is my future in terms of career, in terms of taking care of my future family financially? At that same time, I graduated from Claremont McKenna College. I got my business degree, economics degree. And after I did that, my father, who is a retired neurosurgeon, by the way, my oldest brother is a spinal surgeon. My next older brother is an attorney. My younger brother is an ophthalmologist, and my sister has her PhD. And I said to my dad, okay, I'm going to be a personal trainer. So you could imagine how that conversation went. It wasn't the best conversation, but back to your question, what led me to where I'm at today? I had a passion for fitness my entire life. And there was a fitness manager that came up to me at 24-Hour Fitness. I'll never forget the day. His name was Curtis. He said, hey, have you ever thought about being a trainer? I said, no. Would you want to? I said, yes. And it was game over from then.
What's funny is it's very similar, except the whole PhD and all that stuff with my sibling,
Yeah.
but similar type of thing. It's really inspirational. I played college baseball, JUCO wise, and I was actually picking up hypodermic needles, cleaning machines at a Gold's Gym in 1997 on Aurora Avenue, and it was helping people. So it's neat to see that spark got you as well. And I'm interested in kind of that conversation that you had with your fitness manager. What was it about the fitness industry that really drew you in?
At that time, I was working out. I had that, that relationship with the staff where it's the head nod, um, and it would be back and forth. And this was the first day he talked to me. The first day he came up to me and he said, and for what it's worth, anybody in the industry, that's how you recruit. You develop relationships, friendships with people in the gyms, and those are going to be usually your best team members. And he said, "It looks like you're in here all the time. Looks like you know what you're doing. Have you ever thought about being a trainer?" And I said, "No." He explained to me that there is money to be had. I could work on my own schedule, and he'll help me develop into a trainer. And so for me, it was a part-time job for a while. And what made me realize with your question back then that it could become a career was when I gave up fighting. I was offered a club management position, and I realized I could make, it was 5, 6 times the money um, running a club than putting my body and mind on the line and fighting. And although it was fun and I had a passion for fighting, I realized in the I mean, look at me. I've been an industry veteran. I've had the title of being a president, and I'm wearing a t-shirt and joggers and tennis shoes, and I get to hang out with people all day. No matter what uniform you're wearing, you're hanging out with people and you're selling a product that arguably helps people more than any other product out there, more than medication, more than anything else. Fitness helps with every aspect of your life. And so, what got me into the fitness industry is my own schedule, how much money I can make, hanging out at the gym. What kept me in the industry is helping people. And not to sound cheesy, because there's a lot of money to be had in fitness, but knowing that I can make a lot of money and help people, game over. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in.
Where did the journey take you next?
Yeah. So I stayed with 24 Hour Fitness for 15 years, all throughout Southern California, Hawaii, Florida, Utah, running various markets. Um, and that really gave me the base of how to take care of team members, how to take care of members, how to run corporate locations, the structure, um, the professionalism. It really gave me a great base for where it took me next. I was recruited to move up to Vancouver, Canada, and we came up here 8 years ago, my family and I. And we worked for a company where we ran Steve Nash clubs, started the UFC gym franchise, started the Crunch Fitness franchise. I was with them for about 4 years, and then I became the president for Crunch Fitness Canada, which owned the master franchise rights for the entire country. So for me, what I thought at the time, that was the pinnacle of my career. That was, everyone that doubted I could make something of myself in fitness. Here I am now, the president of a pretty large company. And I'm traveling all over the country to help build a brand and help take care of the Canadian community in improving their lives through fitness. And just when I thought, okay, I made it, the pandemic hit. And the whole, as we know, fitness industry was shaken up and said, hey, you guys think you're going, pause for a second, because you guys need to rethink things, because we were all shut down. And about 6 months into the pandemic, I found myself in a place I thought I'd never be. I was fired. I got a call. I never in a million years ever imagined that day coming. It's never happened to me before, and it happened. It happened. It knocked me right off my feet. I was more scared than I've ever been in my entire life. I had my wife, my at the time they were 9-year-old twins, and I had to, as a father, sit down with them and say, Daddy lost his job. And I know that others have gone through that. I've never been through that. And you could imagine the emotions that went through at that time.
Now tell me, because there's a theme. There's a lot of people that I talk to that have been in the industry as long as I have that I think will benefit up and comers and veterans. You got that reaction of not having a job anymore, like tens, hundreds of thousands of people did during the pandemic. If you can take me through your reaction and then what started to change in your mindset that you're going to do something about it. Take me through some of the actions that you did to start to create momentum to move you forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So just like anybody else, I think my initial reactions were, scared, upset, worried, um, depressed. I mean, and not to mention what everyone was going through with the pandemic. Uh, but on top of it, you know, and I'll tell you, like I'm not telling you the details. We were renting a home, and the homeowners kicked us out because they need to move back in there, and we were in a different foreign country, and we lost our job, and so like, and everything was hitting me left and right. And my entire life I've been a protector. I've been, I fight back. And so within a week, I thought, okay, let me take some time off, enjoy my family, enjoy my time. But my nature was, okay, I need to get ready. What do we do now? So started contacting different people throughout the United States and Canada, letting them know that, I'm ready to, take on another role. And we got some good offers, and we were very close to moving back to the States and taking an offer. And I think that sometimes is the natural reaction, right? For my entire life, I've been given a paycheck. And most recently, as the president, I was getting a very large paycheck. And so I never, even though several people told me, hey, you are one of the most experienced fitness executives in the industry, go do your own thing. I never had the courage to do my own thing. Never. Because when you have a paycheck and a good paycheck, it's very hard to say, no, I don't want that paycheck here. Let me tear it up because I'm going to go do my own thing. But that life didn't have it that way. Life tore up that paycheck for me. And Crunch Fitness Canada tore up that paycheck for me. And I got put in a position where, okay, I'm at a crossroads. Do I keep doing what I'm doing, which was good, or do I finally risk it all and say, okay, let me finally do my own thing? And I made the decision. It's time to do my own thing. I didn't have the idea yet,
Yeah.
but I decided I'm going to do my own thing.
What was that process like? Right? Because there's so much I can relate to this. I started my own company in 2018 after being working for others, consulting, traveling around the United States, similar tract. And that fear for myself, it was kind of interesting. My wife, I remember it like it was yesterday. My wife, we were at home. My wife stopped, stood in front of me. She looked at me in my eyes and said, "What happened?" Like, what do you mean? What happened? Like, are the kids okay? Did the dog take a poop in the house? Like, what happened? She said, "You don't take the same risks that you used to. You don't have that same fire. What happened?" Caught me.
Wow.
It caught me off guard, which started this cascade of events of evaluating where I was at, the experience that I collected, the relationships that I built, and how would I leverage that. And then there was this overwhelming fear, and I'm really grateful that you're sharing that because you and I have both met a lot of people in this industry that maybe aren't ready to share that, but I think it's important that individuals like yourself that have a ton of experience show that it's okay to talk about these things. But there was a lot of fear, a lot of self-doubt. So when you went through that process to make that decision, I'm sure you involved your family. I'm just curious, for whatever you're comfortable letting us in on, what was that process like in evaluating your current circumstances, but also understanding your potential and having that belief in yourself? If you could share, did you bring other people in? How did you come to that decision? What kind of conversations did you have? If you're okay sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, I think I'm an open book. Yeah, I know we're getting to know each other, but for anyone that's listening, I'll share anything. I don't care, and I think it's back to what you said, not just about the podcast, but about life in general, we're in a epidemic right now where I think people are pretending to be something they're not, and especially in fitness, especially with our what would I say, the veterans. I think that we're in an epidemic in the world where mental health is an all-time high in terms of concerns, and I think it's because people pretend too much.
And let's live there. 'Cause I definitely want to get into your decision making, but I think this is a really key point that would bring so much value to people. And I've always contended, and I have this sense that it's this idea maybe of hustle culture, of that badge of honor, of working yourself to the bone, which is there's value to that. Don't get me wrong, but trying to attain things that don't mean a lot. When you say, pretending to be something that they're not, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, the perfect example. I mean, I think we're similar in age. Where when I grew up, our parents didn't talk about the concerns they had about themselves, or the sadness that they might have, or the depression. People aren't depressed or not depressed. Everyone's has depression at certain times of their life, whether it's up and down. And so we need to talk about that more, especially men. And so I think that, we grew up with not talking about things and pretending that life is perfect. And when you come to the fitness industry, you know, we're trying to help people physically, but we need to help them mentally before they can ever be helped physically. And I'm going to get into the whole brand of why we created Safe Sweat when it pertains to that. But I think that when I talk specifically, I was an executive, a younger executive in the industry, that I was extremely vulnerable. And I told the truth all the time. And people that have worked with me or for me would attest to that. Emery was an honest guy. He was very direct. He said how he felt, when he felt it, all the time, because I wanted my team to understand I am not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. That's being a human. And in turn, trust was built. And in turn, they would be vulnerable back. And that's when I could really help the individual. You can't help somebody if they're pretending the whole time. So I think that is in itself really something that I and we as Safe Sweat are trying to attack. In regards to your earlier question, the emotions when I was talking to my wife and my family, and how did I get to that where I jumped? And I said, okay, I'm fortunate. I have a very supportive wife. My wife saw me when I competed in bodybuilding, when I fought, when I became a fitness manager, club manager. She's moved all over the world for me, for my career, and so we've been an incredible team. And when I finally came up with the idea of Safe Sweat, her first two words were, "You're crazy," and then her next sentence was, "I support you if you think it's going to work."
Yeah,
And that was it. Let's go.
yeah,
Let's go. And it was game over after that. I called up Andrea Klogman, who I worked with in the past. I knew she was taking some time off to be with her family. And I said, I have a great idea. And she literally, no joke, said the exact same words. She said, "You're crazy. I'm in."
that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Now, you get your crazy, I'm in. Where do you go from there? I'm sure there's people listening that have been told that idea is crazy and they didn't get I'm in, but some others have. What was that next step in terms of you taking that idea that was in your mind and in your heart and now bring it to fruition? What things did you start to, what action steps did you start to do? Who did you start pulling around you? Maybe if you can give some insights to some higher level things that you did for those entrepreneurs that are listening, or someone that's on the fence has been in the industry for 10, 15, 30 years thinking,
Yeah.
I need to do something. I'm crazy, but here we go.
Yeah. I want to be careful how I say this. I may be a new entrepreneur. Like I may be a new business owner. I'm doing this for the first time, but I've worked in the fitness industry for 25 years. I've been a personal trainer, a fitness manager, a club manager, a district manager, an area manager, a vice president, a COO, and a president, all around the United States and Canada, both corporate and franchise. So, although I'm new to being an entrepreneur, I'm not new to being a fitness executive. I also have my bachelor's degree in economics. So I know numbers. I'm sure you get this too. People first look at me and they know that I was football player, fighter, I have the tattoos, I have piercing, and they judge me. But then when they hear me talk, they know I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. It's more for the listeners. You have to have people that you trust that will tell you the truth. And I know my wife will tell me the truth. I know my business partner will tell me the truth. And although they said that you're crazy, they said that I'm in, I trust you, let's go, because they know I know what I'm talking about. So, to all the listeners out there, you have to have your close circle that will tell you the truth. And I have that. I know, going back to trust, being vulnerable, I'm not afraid to tell the truth, and my circle's not afraid to tell me the truth either. So that was the first step. The next step was I put everything on paper and I put everything on spreadsheets and I punched out the numbers. And I did that for months before I ever announced what we were doing. Before we went to the banks, we made sure that we legit had a business model that would work. So that's what I would suggest to everybody aspiring to be a new entrepreneur.
Now, the name. Let's talk about something that maybe people will gravitate towards from a branding standpoint. How did Safe Sweat come about? What are you hoping that how it resonates with those that look at it? And so maybe give me an overview of what
Yeah.
Safe Sweat is, and kind of how you arrived at that.
Yeah. So the idea came when we were all locked down and the fitness industry was, club by club, studio by studio, going out of business. But you, me, every fitness professional knew fitness wasn't done, it wasn't over, but we'd be idiots if we didn't rethink how we were doing things. So, what did most of the fitness industry do? They went digital so fast. And digital fitness, digital fitness, digital fitness, and then home gym equipment, home. And so, some good came out of it, right? We knew it was going there anyways, but it sped it up. So, in my opinion, I think a lot of junk product came out, a lot of junk digital fitness came out, and too much. And so we're seeing that now. We're seeing home gym equipment struggling. We see digital fitness struggling. So I never thought, am I going to be in a place where my future is home gyms or digital fitness? No. Will there be some part to play? Absolutely. But that wasn't where I thought fitness was headed. So then I thought, why is fitness shut down and what can be different? So then I started thinking about immediately. I'm a thinker. I can't stop thinking. My wheels are always spinning. And I'm like, what about a gym or a studio with private areas for people to work out in? And the idea came because of the pandemic. But like I got a big but. Everyone out there, that's not why we did it. It's not why we continued. I mean, immediately I knew pandemic is going to be done soon. There'll be other pandemics, there'll be other things, but that's not the business would never work. So then we started thinking about who would use that type of facility. Are there people that would want that type of facility? A private studio with individual, fully equipped little gyms. And then I thought about every client I had, and I thought about all the guests that walked in, and I thought about people that would I mean, what conversion on walk-ins to a $10 a month gym is 50% at best. So 100 people walk in and 50 people join. Those 100 people want to lose weight. They want to change their life. They want to get healthier, and 50% walk back out the door because they didn't want to pay $10 a month. Come on, it's a little fishy. And then of the 50% that joined, how many of them cancel within 90 days? Why do they cancel? And so we keep saying fitness is hard and fitness is tough and fitness, they weren't serious and they didn't get proper instruction. How about what they've been telling us? I'm the first to admit, going back to vulnerability, I was a salesperson, I was a closer. So when those guests said, you know what? I don't know. I just feel really uncomfortable in here. I feel like everyone's staring at me. I feel like I need to lose weight first before I go in. I'm not coordinated to take these classes with these other women. What do I wear? I didn't listen. And so what did I do? I close, it's in your head. Don't worry, blah, 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 blah. And sure enough, I would close them and they would cancel and they would quit. Lyle, they've been telling us for years that we need a more private experience in a public setting. Look, obesity, diabetes, we know are huge physical concerns. But as I said earlier, the big epidemic right now is mental health. Now, add in social media, and you have body image dysmorphia and social anxiety issues at an all time high, especially amongst our youth. Now, add in fitness and gyms and studios, which are already intimidating. It's almost impossible for this demographic to get themselves using these facilities regularly. So they're trying to work out from home. And we know what happens. It's too hard to work at home, it's too expensive, there's too many distractions. So, although it's a good idea, they struggle. And so we believe that there is an underserved community that would prefer a more private experience in a public setting. So we created Safe Sweat.
How did you go about vetting this idea, testing it out, or was it just simply and there's value in that 25 years of we've all I know we've been through it, sales presentations, overcoming objections, trying to save a cancellation, so on and so forth, and hearing a very consistent theme, of comfort, of fear, of being judged by others. What was it that you feel validated this concept, whether it was tangible or it was kind of in your head and intuitive that it would work?
Yeah. So it was first on our experience. I vetted it out with my business partner. I'll even go back to my wife, who's always honest with me. She had her doubts. Same thing with Andrea. They're like, I don't know, working out by myself, it just seems weird. And even me, I'm a gym guy. I'm a gym rat. I love talking to people. I love talking with people. But then during the pandemic, I put together a really quick gym in my garage, and I'm like, I'm, these workouts are kind of cool. Like, not really worried about anything. And look, again, admitting it, I go to the public gym and I think people are looking at me, whether bad or good. I still feel like that. So, do I try to figure out what I'm going to wear before I go to the gym? Yeah, I'm a man and I'll admit it that I'm thinking about what I'm wearing and what are people going to think when they see me. And if I've gained a little weight, then I'm thinking they know I gained the weight. And even though these people are strangers, they're comparing me to what I used to look like when I competed in bodybuilding, and they're comparing me to what I look like when I fought. And they have no idea. But in my head, I can't stop thinking about that. So, first thing is, yeah, I vetted it with my wife and my business partner. And then we started doing surveys in the community saying, hey, if there was a private studio that had individual little gyms, would you work out? What would you want to see? What equipment would you want in there? What would you need? And I'll tell you, we were shocked because originally, so you go across North America and it's gym penetration, studio gym penetration is 15 to 25% depending on where you're at. And that's been like that for over 20, 25 years. I was in a PT instruction conference 25 years ago, and the instructor was saying, we're at 15 to 20% gym goers, and one day we're going to be at 50%. Well, why is it still the same 15 to
Yeah.
25%?
Yeah.
I would argue it's because the industry has failed, me included, at offering a different type of product. We've been offering the same thing for the past 25 years. Well, that's why we need to give a different type of product. So then we started asking people, and we're like, wait a second, we thought there would be a small percentage that would say, yes, I would. Oh my God, more than 5 out of 10 people said I would be in. And then they started saying, I'm in a hurry and I need to get in and get out. I hate waiting for equipment. I hate looking for equipment. I don't want to take classes. I don't want a coach in my face yelling at me every single time I go in. I just want to do my own thing. I want a home gym, but it's too expensive. And we're like, wait a second, this is going to work. This is going to work. Then I went to the numbers and started punching in. And I'm like, wait a second. Not only is this going to work, this is going to be more profitable than any studio out there. Guess what? We're projecting that that's what's going to happen.
Sweet. And reading your posts, and great job, by the way, on getting some content out there. The
Thank
latest
you.
one with your family, that was pretty cool. I can imagine what that filming process was like and how the crowd, just speaking to you now, I'm sure you took a moment and absorbed it and went, this is cool. Look where we're at from where we were.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's the goal for you from having that really difficult season when you lost your job and trying to figure out what you were going to do next, to just building, and now here you are? What's the goal, and where do you want to take this
Yeah.
brand, Safe Sweat?
I won't stop until it's all over the world. And I have zero doubt that that's going to happen. And what's funny is before we launched, I was 99% sure that this was going to work. And we didn't have the funds to do this ourselves. Again, there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that have the funds to get going. We didn't. Everyone out there, we did not. We had a little bit. I had to go to the banks, and bank after bank said no and laughed at us and said, you're trying to create a new fitness concept in the middle of the pandemic. Not a chance. And I got turned down over and over and over again.
And
And
I'd love to just parlay off of that. How do you dust yourself off? Because there's entrepreneurs listening to this now that just got told no. So what do you tell them if, Emery, dude, I just got told no by the third bank. You did your thing. What would you tell he or she that's looking for money for this idea, is something that's in their heart? What did you do?
I looked in the mirror and I asked myself, do I truly believe in this? And am I ready to go all in? And I knew I was. Look, I'm not kidding when I say I'm all in. I know a lot of people say they're all in. I don't have a backup. I've turned down every job. I continue to turn down jobs. I still have people coming to me saying, hey, would you do this on the side, consulting, jobs? And I've turned down everything. And I have 100% put everything into this. My family, Andrea's family, we have put everything into this. And so that's the first thing. Are you willing to go all in? Because I said it from 2 years ago when I talked to banks, I talked to people. I said, one of two things is going to happen. Either everyone in the world is going to know Safe Sweat and we're going to be bigger than anyone ever imagined, or we're going to fail worse than anyone's ever failed. Because for me, there's no in between.
There's no plan B.
No, there's no plan B. There's no plan B. But I did my homework first and I got my experience first. So you just got to be careful, right? If I was entering into a new industry, maybe I wouldn't be as confident, but I was pretty confident. And we finally, I went to a bank and I said, look, I need to speak to one of your managers. I don't want you guys to miss out on this opportunity. And they were pretty shocked that I said that. And then I told the manager, I said, give me 5 minutes. And after about 20 minutes, because they wouldn't be done, they said, this is one of the best business plans we've ever seen. You guys know what you're doing. And they approved us.
And
So we, and that wasn't going to be enough money. So we started talking to potential investors. They tried to take everything from us. We said no, and we went and we got it done and we got it open. Guess what? All those investors are coming back to us right now.
yeah, and I think so much value that you're bringing when you're going to the third, fourth, fifth, sixth bank after being told no time and time again. I think there needs to be something stated about the preparation. There's a anxiety tends to come when you're not prepared. Not always true, but for those entrepreneurs out there who are getting told no, I think it's really important to understand that you were very prepared. Yes, you had a degree in economics, you understand finance, but if you could speak to that about doing the work before so that when you're told no, when that time does come and that you have to dust yourself off, doing the work ahead of time will actually help you with your confidence to reach your goal. How much work, so for those people that are listening, how much work did you put into fine tuning, running through scenarios and analysis and looking at contingencies so that you were prepared for the no and to keep going? What type of work did it take for you to have that type of confidence?
Look, again, anyone can call me, email me, whatever you want, 24/7. I'm not joking. My my kids knew it, my wife knew it. We're still putting in 24/7 because we're not done. And so I didn't want to be caught in a place where someone asked me a question or challenged me and I didn't have the answer for it. And so far, knock on wood, that hasn't happened. I'm still, as investors are talking to me, you're going to have the odd investor. I shouldn't say odd. For me, it's odd that they're still trying to challenge some of the things that we're doing. And I have the utmost confidence and respect to let them know they're wrong. They're wrong. But it's only because of what you said. I'm not leaving any stone unturned. I'm finding out the answer before the question's even asked.
So be prepared, right? All those entrepreneurs out there,
Absolutely.
understand where you could be told no. And just like when we're working the clubs, right? You know what kind of objections are going to come. So you got to practice. You got to train. You got to
Absolutely.
rehearse. There's a lot
Absolutely.
of parallels. Now, global. I think this is really cool. I love that aspiration. What's your plans? Just let the people know where are you at right now with Safe Sweat, and kind of for what you can share. What do you see in the immediate horizon? We'll just say in the next 5 years with your brand.
Yeah. So my business partner and I, we own 100% of this business. We were able to get it open without any investors. Um, Now that we're open, we've been open for a little over 5 months, and we have investors coming back to us. And so we said, okay, now's the time to open it back up. We never thought we'd raise the money this quickly after we opened, but we figured it's happening, so let's run with this. We're a little over 5 months in. We have over 150 active members. We can easily triple that with zero capacity issues. We look on average, our members are paying over $200 a month. They're
It's good
paying over
math.
$200 a month to work out by themselves. We were profitable in less than 5 months of opening. We have over a 90% member retention rate. So this is twice as good as some of those fitness studios out there. Why? Because our members do whatever they want to do. They don't have to take the same class every single time. We have over 25% of our members working with one of our personal trainers. That's 5 times the industry average. We have 30% less operating costs than the typical studio out there. Why? Because we don't have classes. We don't have classes, so we don't have to pay coaches and instructors. So this was the biggest question mark in the industry when we announced this. Will people pay a premium to work out on their own? Well, we're answering the question.
Yeah,
Not only will they pay it, they're running to come join us to pay for it. And they're asking for more locations. So we have proven the motto, we have proven the brand, Safe Sweat, practice Safe Sweat. It's a place where you can be yourself. So we have kids as young as 10 years old. You see, I'm wearing the pink shirt today. It's Pink Shirt Day,
mm,
Anti Bullying Day. And we have our members all the way up to 94 years of age.
that's awesome.
So, all different demographics that are coming in. And over 40% of our members have a home gym. So, as we predicted, people would rather work out here instead of at home. So, we finally decided, okay, let's bring out outside funding because we don't have the capital to grow as fast as we want. The whole time we've been working on all the playbooks. So, the plan is to bring in outside investors to get a second and third location open ASAP, as well as launch Safe Sweat franchise. So that's the plan. We've already opened up for our first uh, round of funding.
That's amazing. Congratulations on that, man.
Thank
Seeing
you.
that
Thank you.
dream. Now, with the few minutes that we have left, how did you get the word out? How did you leverage platforms? I know you're active. I love the stuff that you put out. I love the stuff that you try. If you can share two or three ideas for that entrepreneur that's watching, like, hey, I have this idea, don't have a lot of money, but I know I need to promote it. Seeing the success that you've had, what would you say to those people watching?
It's all digital right now, my friends. Social media is free, and your time, I shouldn't say is free, but if you can spend some time really studying social media, all platforms, we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and there's all different demographics on all those different platforms. And you have to get really creative on your brand. And going back to me saying I'm all in and working 24/7, before we even opened the studio, I walked the streets, I walked to homes, I walked to businesses, I introduced myself, I introduced what we were doing. I partnered with other businesses. I went onto Instagram, those platforms myself, and I started requesting as many people in the community as possible and started talking to as many people as possible. And still to this day, I wake up in the morning and I'm checking social media, and I'm going at night and I'm checking social media because that is where it's at. Um, and I don't want to sound cliche, but there's still a ton of fitness executives out there that have not jumped on board, and they refuse to. And they're going to say, well, my teams do it. Well, are you close enough to know what they're doing? Because
100%.
that is, yeah, that is a gold mine right there. So entrepreneurs that are listening right now and saying, I'm not a social media person, I don't know it. Good luck then. You're not gonna make it. And I'm not trying to sound like a jerk. I didn't know it either. And 5 years ago, I invested a lot of time to learn it. So
Yeah.
go learn it.
Yeah. And I think you're saying something really important. It's, as an entrepreneur, you need to be lethal in a lot of areas so that at least you're not being taken advantage of. Like from the operation standpoint, from clubs for 20 years, and then for me moving into the agency side and marketing and content side, I gotta underscore what you just said to anybody watching. The number of operators that don't pay any attention to learning to at least be dangerous so that they don't get taken advantage of is staggering. And believe me, as an agency, I'd love to take all that business. But I think you and I both understand it's like, hey, let's help people get educated. It's almost contrary to what you'd want to say as an agency. But the reality is, there's a lot of small businesses that could have succeeded. And I know you know a lot of them. I know a lot of them if they would have taken that time. That's beautiful advice. And
Absolutely.
I'm curious. How is your day structured for you, for the entrepreneurs that have a lot going on? Because you're going, And if you can give them some advice on how to plan their day, I think that's a really key to maximize the time, right? The cliche, we're all given 24 hours in a day, but we all use it differently. What would your suggestion be?
Yeah, I mean, first thing is know what your strengths are, know what you're good at, and don't hand that off to anybody. So you take over the things you're great at, and then you leverage your team on what they're great at. So going back to social media, if you're like, okay, I'm not good at it, I'm not good at it. Okay, find somebody on your team that is good at it, but walk with them, run with them, learn with them, because what you're good at is probably your vision, your why, your wording, your phrases, your spelling, your grammar. So even going back to what you just said, you might hire an agency and you think that I'm going to give them three, four, $5,000 a month and they're going to take care of all my marketing. If you're not looking over that marketing, then they are going to make mistakes. They are going to write things incorrectly or use images you don't want to use. So stay very close to that. The way I structure my day is I handle the things that I feel that I'm the best at, and then I leverage my team on what they're best at. So I get up in the morning, and again, I'm making sure everything's taken care of on social media, all my emails, everything's done. I get my workout in after that, because I know I have to take care of myself in order to take care of my team as well as Safe Sweat. And then I'm in here the rest of the day and night. And while I'm in here the rest of the day and night, I'm here for my team, I'm here for my members, and I'm learning. So even franchisees out there, entrepreneurs out there, do not work from home. Be in your location and make sure that you are 100% in the mix, because all your answers are there. You will learn everything you need to from there. When I meet with investors, it's at the studio or it's on Zoom calls, and I'm on at the studio so they can see the studio. So when you structure your day, be at your location as much as possible, be on your social media platforms as much as possible, be on your website as much as possible, because you're going to find answers in all of those things.
That's amazing, man. And for those that, again, are going to be watching this that want to know about Say Sweat, where can they find information about the brand? If this circulates in different communities, maybe around your area, how they can learn more about it to be a member, an investor, or they can chat with you, because you've hit on some really amazing points about mental health, about positivity, about a support system and relationships. What are the best ways they can connect with you or your brand?
Yeah. So first off, they can go to safesweat.com and they can see a lot of information about our brand. Um, and we're pretty transparent. We know there's copycats already out there. It's fine. In fact, any copycats out there, call me. I'll help you guys out. Um, Second is our social media platforms. You can go to Safe Sweat, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And then if you want to contact me, it's Emre, EMRE, at safesweat.com. Lastly, just got the call literally an hour before this. It's hot off the press. We just
Exclusive.
got invited. Yeah, we just got invited to Dragon's Den to interview for Dragon's Den.
Heck yeah,
That's,
man.
yeah, Shark Tank equivalent in Canada. It's just an interview, and truthfully, we're not sure yet if we want to be on it yet, but you guys will learn more too if we decide to go on that show.
That's sweet, dude. Hey, I hope we do this again, Emery.
Anytime,
This
anytime,
was really cool. I really
my
appreciate
brother,
it,
right?
dude. I mean, come on, man.
Well, you're
And
just down the street, so next time it's in the studio.
yeah, 100%. I got my passport. However, they'll
Yep.
they should see me and they'll say, "Oh, you look like Emery from Safe Sweat. Why don't you
Yeah.
come on? Canada loves you."
You are invited anytime. We will reserve a fit suite and let's do another podcast in the fit suite.
100%.